Ladies and gentlemen, we are officially halfway through the Stanley Cup playoffs. 16 teams started, but we are down to 4. The Eastern Conference and Western Conference finals are just about to happen. 4 teams are going to battle it out, but only 2 can make it to fight for Lord Stanley's Cup. My name's Randy Dillon. I'm going to preview you the third round of the Stanley Cup playoff, give you my thoughts and predictions of what's going to happen and who's going to move on. In the Eastern Conference Final, we have got the Carolina Hurricanes meeting the Boston Bruins. These teams will meet for the first time since 2009 when the Canes beat the Bruins in the second round. That was a back-and-forth series. Bruins took a 1-0 lead. Canes took 3-1 lead. Bruins came back and tied it, but the Canes ultimately walked away. Well, 10 years have passed since that series. I don't really think that any member of that Carolina Hurricane team left. For Boston, Zdeno Chara still there, David Krejci, Patrice Bergeron. So it'll be interesting. Now, you're going to look at all the analytical and stats. The Bruins are favorite to win. The power play is better. The penalty kill is better. They have a slight advantage in face-off, but the Bruins do have advantage in those columns. And you just look at the Bruins. Their top guys are going. Bergeron, Marchand, and Pastrnak since getting reunited in Game 4. The depth scoring's going. And don't forget, Tuukka Rask has been playing incredible since Game 7 of the first round, Game 6. He has just been a man on a mission. He has not let. He just showing, hey, I'm the best goalie here. So you can think the Bruins are favorite, but you can't count out the Hurricanes here. They have surprised everyone through their playoff. And I think the big thing is they are getting healthy. They had time to rest. They've had about 6 days before the start of Game 1. The question is going to be, how healthy are they going to be? Mrazek is close to returning. It's questionable if he's going to start Game 1. Michael Furlan is coming back as well. He's pretty close, so it's questionable he's going to start Game 1. Rob Brind'Amour hasn't really announced anything like that, but you know everyone's battling injuries at this point. The big thing is if the Hurricanes want to move on in this series, they got to use their speed. You know Boston's going to pound for pound on that, what they did in the Leaf. They got to use their speed. They got to be quick transition. And the goaltending and defense has to be sharp here. You saw the mistakes they made against Washington for the Hurricanes. They cannot do that. If they do, the Bruins are going to eat them alive. Goaltending is going to be a question here. We've seen Mrazek and McElhinney play good, but they are going to have to play at a very high level, maybe a similar level to what Rask is playing to give them a chance. I know the favorites are saying Boston. The analyticals are going to say Boston's going to walk to the Eastern Conference Final, and I'm going to have to agree with that because they are experienced. It's only been 6 years since they went to the Eastern Conference Finals and to the Stanley Cup Final. This is new territory for a lot of these Hurricane players. So it's going to be interesting, but if the Hurricanes can get more heroes to step up, more surprises, they might shock the hockey world and go on. But I'm going to say the Bruins are going to move on to the Cup Final for the first time since 2013. In the West, it's a Western Conference Final rematch from 2016. The San Jose Sharks are going to battle the St. Louis Blues. This is interesting, ladies and gentlemen. You've seen what happened with both these franchises. Just disappointment after disappointment. Just couldn't get the job done. Well, one of these teams are going to have a chance to battle for Lord Stanley Cup. This is very interesting because I think both these teams play very similar styles, and both these teams have really big challenges. So we're going to look at the analyticals here for these teams, and not much separates them. So you look at San Jose power play compared to St. Louis, maybe about a little bit over 1% or 2, not that much. The penalty kill, San Jose does have the advantage. The face-off, not much separate these two either, maybe a 2%. So it's very similar analytical other than the penalty kill. The big thing's going to be for the Blues is they are just going to have to keep that strong defense going. Other than maybe Game 3 of this playoff where they allowed 6, they have been really tight defense. The only one other time they only allowed 2 goals other than that Game 3 against the Jets. So the Blues know how to play defensive, very strong, tight hockey. Jordan Binnington, what can you say? He has just been sensational. The Blues are running on this wave of momentum. They're big, they're physical, they can play defend. My big question is going to be for the Blues is they're not that heavy strike team. They haven't really been an outburst of offense for them. So that could be a question here where the Sharks have shown at times they can push the offense. So the Blues are going to have to be very strong defensively. Binnington's going to have to be standing on his head again. Can any alter? It's going to be interesting. Now, for the Sharks, is it Jumbo Joe's time? We know he's not getting any older. I could say any younger. He is getting older. But the big thing for the Sharks is going to be their health. You know Joe Pavelski, he's not playing at 100% coming back in Game 7 against the Avalanche. There's been rumor that Evander Kane's even playing injured. You know at this time everyone is good chance a lot of players are injured. We're not going to hear nothing until they're eliminated. So we know that can't be a fact. We know that can be a factor here, but we won't know till the end. The big thing for the Sharks are going to be, well, obviously Martin Jones. The bad Jones going to show up. He's been terrific since getting pulled in Game 4. He's just been on an absolute tear. He's made the big saves. He's not letting those weak goals or those bad goals at time. But the Sharks defense, especially Burns and Carlson, there has been moments where they have just been horrific on the blue line in their defensive zone. And I think that could be a disadvantage to them, especially a team like the Blues. They will strike on you, and if the goaltending is not good, there might be a problem. Look what happened in Game 7 between the Blues and Stars. If it wasn't for Ben Bishop, that game could have really got out of hand. So Jones, he might be a key part in this series. He cannot falter. Binnington, he's going to be good. I don't think he's going to falter anytime soon. I've been questioning him all playoff, but he's made me a believer. He's playing good. I'm going to say the San Jose Sharks will move on to the Stanley Cup final. My reason being is I think offensively they have more weapons. They can play a little bit more of a transition game, and I think defensively they'll be able to figure things out a little bit more. Where the Blues, they'll have to be that strong defense if they can't get the offense really rolling. Well, that's my preview for the conference finals. You're going to have the Bruins being the Hurricanes and the Sharks being the Blues. You're going to have a Sharks and Bruins final. That'll be interesting to see if that does happen. Big Joe Thornton going to be facing the team that drafted him to get a chance to lift the cup. Before I go, just a quick NHL note. The Edmonton Oilers have hired Ken Holland as their president and general manager. Holland has a lot of work to do before the season starts. Got a lot of reshuffling to do. Got to make some decisions. Got to save that culture because we know that team's a sinking ship. I hope you enjoyed my preview of the conference final. I hope you enjoyed the conference final. It's going to be fun and exciting. What's going to happen? Are there going to be a couple more surprises along the way? This playoff's been all about surprises. Who knows? Anyways, my name's Randy Dillon. Go watch the conference final. Let me know what you think and have a good one.